Tracy?
Karen Hollinsby. Every evening, parents, children, and young adults from all over Deltona race home, race up I-4, scramble for cleats and shin guards, and race over to Dewey Booster, where they're greeted by a sign that reads Home of DYSC, Deltona Youth Soccer Club. But it sure doesn't feel like a home these days. Would family attempt to destroy your financial stream, nickel and dime you at every turn, and make it just about nearly impossible to practice your sport of choice, a choice that keeps the kids off the street and in a healthy environment? These same families give up their weekends to travel across Central Florida and even distances, sometimes Miami, Jacksonville, and even Biloxi, Mississippi recently, to represent their hometown, Deltona. They have a positive, friendly, yet competitive reputation in the soccer arena across Central Florida. They are respected and invited to tournaments across the state, all while wearing the Deltona name. Why then is the City of Deltona's Park and Recreation Department completely ignoring the tenets of a valid legal instrument, the contract allowing DYSC to operate the concession stand? Why are they eliminating the options for DYSC to host concessions at Dewey Booster? Please help uncover the answers to these questions. These actions by the department are forcing the entire league to travel out of the city for assistance. Why should our Deltona Youth Soccer Club be forced to travel to Orange City and even Daytona Beach, where they can raise money at other business establishments who have been willing and able to donate time, products, and property when our own city is taking valuable funding away from them? Additionally, in the future, any of these players could easily travel the short distance to the Stetson League, to Port Orange, or to Seminole to play where their home fields are just that, home, where they're treated like family in their own homes instead of intruders. Why should the largest city in Volusia County be void of the world's most popular sport so that a bunch of adults can play tit for tat? It's embarrassing. If we cannot expect our city staff and officials to respect and abide by the simplest of a legal instrument, a contract, what can we trust them with? Why would any small business even consider developing in Deltona if they think our legal processes were flawed or possibly corrupt? Why would any of these young players choose to stay in Deltona and raise their families one day when they remember the struggles they faced here as children? Commissioners, you have tremendous responsibilities and a huge laundry list of to-dos you are faced with each day. And I know the last thing you want to do is micromanage any city department. But it's time to take a look at this department and this simple contract and review the latest actions from the Parks Department. It will not take a law degree to tell you that wrongful actions have occurred under your watch. Deltona youth soccer kids play fair. Now you need to be fair.
Tracy?
Michael Helton.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Commission. My name is Michael Kelton. I'm the attorney tonight for Deltona Youth Soccer Club. Normally Darren Elkind would be standing in front of you, but he had a prior engagement tonight and he apologizes for not being present. In regards to the concession agreement, we're not disputing that others have access to this, to the park itself. We actually agree that the city can't have access to the stand itself. The city recently has used the stand for the recent Spring Fest that they had, and Deltona Youth Soccer Club isn't disputing that the park itself can have other vendors at the location. It's the stand itself, the exclusive use of the stand, that we take question with. Recently, the city has taken steps to block access to Deltona Youth Soccer Club to actually use that stand. Recently at the Spring Fest, as Mr. Santiago pointed out, that the Deltona Youth Soccer Club was barred access from actually opening at the special events. That's what they take exception with. And the agreement that has been in place for 4 years and that all the members of the commission have honored, and they have extended it to May of 2011, clearly provides that the Deltona Youth Soccer Club has the right to use a concession stand. And for 4 years they have done so. They have manned it, they have provided inventory to it, they have set up a procedure by which they use for the actual stand itself, and to allow other vendors to come in and use the stand which they're using is a clear violation of the concession agreement that's been in place, and that all the parties have followed for 4 years. Like I said, there's not any dispute that other vendors are allowed in, but what the city is trying to do is essentially block access to Deltona Youth Soccer Club and their use of the stand which they've had for 4 years. If this matter ever went before a court or before a judge, they'd look at the exclusive use clause of this agreement and they would say, well, there's some ambiguity there about what the city's rights are and maybe what the club's rights are. And so if we put this in front of a judge is going to look at the course of performance and course of dealings and what we've done over the course of the last 4 years in regards to this agreement. And it's clear that over 4 years the city has clearly operated and allowed the club the exclusive use of that stand, the stand itself. They've got their inventory in there, nobody else is allowed to operate out of it, and to now come and change the rules on them and change the game is a clear violation. It's a breach of contract, it's a breach of the concession agreement. As far as Mayor Mulder, as far as you're limiting the city tonight, or limiting the club tonight to only 5 people, I believe what you're doing is improper. As far as Mr. Santiago threw out some allegations at you, which I could tell you weren't too pleased with. You know, to limit the club to 5 speakers, which is effectively giving them 20 minutes of time, certainly doesn't help your position any. In closing, I would say that as far as the legal position of the club, the contract itself is enforceable by the club. They have the exclusive right to use the stand, not necessarily the park, but they have the exclusive right to use the stand itself, and anything beyond that, any attempt to block their access to it is just a clear violation of the concession agreement. Thank you.
Thank you. Tracy?
East Haven.
City Commission, I appreciate the time to speak this evening. First, I want to apologize. I want to apologize to all of our family, all of our players, and our respective club for being dismissed their foreborn right to speak at this engagement. And shame on you, sir, for trying to throw politics into these children's future. Next, I'd like to address, we've been limited to 5, so I'm going to cut straight to the jugular. 1, we've heard legal attributes as to the validity of our position. No matter how you want to look at this, parents, commissioners, everyone else listening, the bottom line is this. What meeting did DYSC miss where the commission voted to step into a contractual obligation? Did we miss something here? Apparently so, because my recollection and those of the city, this vote was taken in 2004. And in fact, record has shown, because we've done all the due diligence, you better believe we have, the concession stand has been ran consistently for 4 years by the concession manager. And who might that have been? Charlie Bance. The same gentleman who ran Mayor Mulder's campaign when he ran.
That's not true, but it's okay.
Okay. As we move forward, I'd like to charge the commission one last time today in front of these children, our parents, and the city. The commission, Mr. Mayor, has the power in this city, not back in politics. I charge with the rest of my 2 minutes a call for a vote by this commission to honor the contract of this Deltona Youth Soccer Club for the remaining without interference so that we can lower our fees for these children. My case is rest.
If you all could have a seat.
I have one more, Mayor.
Pardon me?
I have one that came in late for a different item.
Okay, go ahead. No,
Robert Desmond.